Hey guys, what's up? So I wanted to share this video of the mindset of healing. Now this is just a video through experience and some study and some research. Excuse me. Research and just conversing with people, etc. The mindset of healing is starts with literally a thought of saying, "Look, I'm going to focus on healing." It's literally like you can't play a game of checkers. You can't have a mindset of checkers while playing chess. Make sense? And if you do have that type of mindset, then you're going to get crushed. So the mindset of healing takes place with the thought of it and then the acts of it. So far, so far with my training and my seeking out knowledge and wisdom when it comes to healing, like such as things like stretching, breathing, walking, certain types of exercises. What else? Cupping, massages, thinking, meditation, and then just doing what you love. And what happens is that here's what happens. When you really go to the root of it, the DNA already is programmed to rebuild you and build you. Because before we were even sperm and ovaries, we were a thought. And that thought was preceded into something which is the sperm in the male through breathing and eating a certain way, and the body builds sperm in the testicles. Well, the whole body is needed to build sperm. And in the woman, her thought process also surround the egg as well. So now you have two preceding thoughts which manifested in flesh. And then now when they come together, literally, so we're literally sperm and an ovary mixed together that clashed. And we grew into a clot, then flesh, bones, a baby living in water inside of a human being. And then we come out, and then here we are. So the DNA has already been set to heal and rebuild the body. And then we get into the mindset of healing. You have to have a certain level of understanding. Hear what I said. A certain level of understanding of microbiology and biology and chemistry and chemicals, science, math, etc. And then when that happens, when you get a certain level of that, you literally start to tap into the author, which was God, was doing with our body and how he or she created it. Let's just put it like this, or how God created our body. And then we hear stories, and then we read stories of how people live to be past 100 years old, 150 years old, 966 years old. Then you go, how, why, what, when, and where. So then those questions start to manifest, and then you start to seek answers. And then it all goes back to actually going where? Back to study, back to research. And that comes from people, that comes from books. It all comes from people, but it comes from people verbally, communication, verbal communication, reading, studying, thinking. You see? And then if you just sit here and look at a tree, you realize that one tree was literally, that huge tree was literally one little small seed. And so going forward, now you have to trigger the mind into saying, do what you do, you know? Meaning, if the DNA is to rebuild the body, then I must give my body time enough to rebuild itself by giving it what it needs. So I'm gonna go into a few things, right? You have massages that help to make you feel supple, push the blood and the nutrients. Let's just say to push the blood towards the heart and lungs so that your heart and lungs work a little less harder, and also the brain, right? So you get a nice flow. Then you have stretching, which strengthens the tendons and the muscles and the ligaments in the body. Then you have exercise. Let's use walking as an example because, anyways, let's use walking as an example because walking alone, if you walk a mile, the podiatrist says that's close to 100,000 tons of pressure on the feet alone. And every step you take is 3 times your body weight on each knee alone. So if you do the math, if you take 3 steps on one knee, each knee. So I'm 160 pounds. That's 160 times 2. That's 320 times 3. 3 times 0, 0. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3 is 9. That's 960 pounds just from making 3 steps on my knees alone. And then so on and so forth. And then there's fasting. Fasting what? Gives the organs time enough to rest. And also then the body starts to literally do what it needs to do, which is cleanse. Then the cells come out. Then the cells can move more efficiently only when given the proper nutrients to do so. Then we have breathing. 3 minutes of you being suffocated or without water, oxygen, you will die. So that means oxygen is much more important than most of the things that I've named so far. So if once oxygen can get to the area with the proper nutrients, you can then heal the body. But oxygen has to make it all the way into the depths of the body of the cell so that your body can do what it's performed to do. Then you have walking, exercise, stretching, you have meditation, focusing your mind on one thing regardless. Now I don't know how many your dad or my dad shot out when he was having intercourse, but when he probably thousands, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions. But you made it. So there were other sperm there with the same thought to reach that egg. But you made the egg. I made the egg. So now this goes back to that's an action process. And that sperm had enzymes such as protein, fats, omega 369s, mitochondria, energy, cell. It had a cell body, a tail. We literally had a tail. And it was so small. So small. You have to put it under an electronic microscope just to see it. And then now now we have this body, and now we have a mind to think. So if someone programs, pro meaning action exceeding that which you normally do, and then gram, which in Dianetics is similar to engram, or a psychosomatic illness, that if I can place an action thought in your mind and program you to do something by you just listening or watching TV or radio or music or etc. If I can program you to do something to make you feel like you fit in society, then I have you. But if you can meditate and begin to exercise your thought and exercise concentration, When you exercise concentration, you exercising the will and the muscle of the thought, the brain, excuse me, the brain, physical brain matter that can hold the thought, regardless of what comes into your circle or atmosphere of energy or communication or whatever. And when that happens, now you have superseded into the next level, into the next realm of thinking. So I'm not going to go into examples. I'm going to stick to the point. So now that's one way. Then it's keeping your eyes on the prize regardless. Then, so we have thought, we have concentration, exercise, stretching, meditation. The other one is cupping. Cupping removes the cupping is one way of removing the blood from the body from stagnated areas, or even just promoting blood flow just in general for somebody who's healthy already. It just may want to take it to a whole different level because no one is exempt from a certain disease, although it can come in contact with it. But if the body is built enough, strong enough to deal with it, then that person will not be affected by the disease. But the one whose body is weak to it, once they come in contact with it, then the body becomes eaten by the disease, taken over. So if your body is built up to deal with certain things, then when you come into contact with it, you won't even know that you actually came in contact with it until somebody did blood work and told you that you have it. So you become a carrier. The other thing is, so the cupping, dry cupping, fire cupping, wet cupping, water cupping, all of those different types of cupping. I'm sure there's different things out there that I don't even know about. Then there's the scraping thing. They got the new, not it's not new, but it's scraping the body. I think it's called gua sha. Then they have acupuncture. So none of these things say that just because you do it, you're going to be successful. But as a whole, you will become successful. So if you are a person who's about that healing life, your actions will be tended towards healing. Then you have food and nutrients. Excuse me, I almost forgot the most important ones: food and nutrients. Nutrients, excuse me, vitamins and minerals and nutrients all together. Water. When those nutrients get into the body, they help the cells to perform, in which they help you to perform. And if you have an adequate amount for your levels of stress, stress is good. Good stress, levels of good stress is happening in this world. Then your body can deal with that and perform and heal itself. Like getting a small cut or bruise is one thing. But let's say now I've read this years ago that if you lose a limb, you can grow it back. But how and what will it take? Is it an exceeding amount of phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, proteins, water, minerals and vitamins and nutrients, and the mindset to say I'm going to grow this back? But that will look kind of weird because you would end up with like it would be weird to me, but you would literally have to probably go through something like a something with high technology and place your body in it to place that back or regrow that back. So now going forward, and there's martial arts. So there's many different things in having a mindset of healing, and then now it's just having the residual effect of consistently putting in the work to heal the body. Then there's the residual effect, just like network marketing. Network marketing, you have to put in certain type of work, effort to get the residual income. So to get the residual healing, you would have to put in the work. Not just go get one massage and say, oh, my body's better and it's going to heal. Yes, it will heal. But if you want to heal and then keep healing and then become stronger, then the average person today and whatever it is that you do, whether it's computer work, whether it's physical work, whether it's construction, whether it's math, whether it's riding a bike, whether it's skydiving, whether it's rollerblading, whether it's jet skiing, whether it's being a doctor, whether it's different things. So you have to give your body what it needs to supersede in that environment. And the brain will supersede, the body will supersede, and the spirit will guide you. It's having the mindset of concentration. Concentration on healing and seeking out that which you feel and believe and think and have faith in that will heal your body. I don't like talking bad about people because once you learn the root and nature of a people, you understand that the society and the world we live in is based off of putting somebody or allowing somebody to become in a position and then they go dig up their dirty work to try to bring them down, in which it's too late because the person is already in that position. But as a people that has not been healed from a certain level of physical, mental, and spiritual beatdown or breakdown, when those people have not healed, it's hard to help others to heal. And because when you help others to heal, you actually form a unity. You have this, I have that, we can work together. How much is that? Well, I have it. Well, I don't have it, but I can borrow it from here. Somebody can get a loan to help me get it from you, or we can create a barter system, that connection of communication. So when the cells cannot communicate with each other on a high level, then what makes you think that you can communicate with the person next to you on a very high level? So what you eat visually, hearing, smelling, tasting, and watching, reading, food, you become that and your cells start to take on the molecules of what you just put in and reduplicate it on a very small level. And that what you take in, you become. So be careful and believe and have faith. I'm not saying this just because I'm sharing through experience, research, and knowledge of what I've gone through so far up until today. Even I myself have to work on myself on many different things. I hope this helps. If you watch it, thank you. If you don't watch it, thank you. And enjoy. Peace.